We're going to be having some economic data. We got non-farm payrolls, we got unemployment rate, we got average hourly earnings, we got participation rate, we got weekly hours, government, manufacturing, just everything. U6 unemployment rate. So we've got a lot of stuff to go over today. We are going to watch a little bit of CNBC Squawk Box while I drink some chai latte, since I'm trying to wake up and just got up like 10 minutes ago. So we're going to listen to them and see what they have to say while the numbers are coming out, and then I'll throw in my 2 cents, and we'll go over them in a little more detail and probably from a higher view. Here we go. Oh, let's get the volume.
Better. The wage numbers, Joe, have been running about 14, 15 months now. We've had real wage gains.
Oil,
over the course since the pandemic, we're still negative.
Well, wait a second. Betsy Stevenson herself explained why it's not always the first of the month. It's on the first Friday. It's a rule of thumb. It always happens after the reference week. So it's scheduled for the third Friday after the conclusion of the survey reference week.
Okay.
That's why we love Betsy Stevenson, because she knows those things, because we don't.
Professor of economics policy, she is, and public economics and public policy at the University of Michigan. Allison Schrager, senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute. Sarah Malik, chief investment officer and head of equities and fixed income at Nuveen, and our own Steve Leisman. It's almost time, and where's Santelli? He's. We don't know where he is. So you ready? He's off. You today?
I'm going to do it. A poor facsimile of Rick is what I'm going to do.
Rick today.
Are you nervous?
30 seconds.
Are you nervous?
About 13 seconds.
It's time now.
Are you nervous?
Read slowly for the August jobs report. And Steve Leisman, what number are you going to start?
Breathe in, breathe out.
What number are you going to start with, Steve?
I don't have the number just yet, but we're looking for 161,000. It should be coming across any second now. Let me check the BL. There it is. 142,000 versus July, which revised down to from 289,000 from 114,000. June, big revision to 118 from 179. I cannot do the math. Somebody do 11 and 14 for me. That's 25,000 for the July revision, and it looks like 61,000. So what's 25 and 61 is 87 or 86, is that right? So big revision down for the prior 2 months.
Just not as much excitement as Rick Santelli.
It did tick down to 4.2% from 4.3, right in line with consensus. Let's see if I have any other headlines here that I can scare up. That's all I have right now. I'd have to go to the BLS report here, refresh my page. Rick has it scrolling across the top. I do not. I'm going to go quickly to the B1 table, and I'm going to tell you where the jobs were.
I don't know if well get much from these guys today because of the B team,
quickly,
so it might just be me.
Private sector, 118, so we're talking about some...
I'm going to pause it out. I don't think there's too much going on here. We're going to actually walk through each one. So unemployment rate, 4.2%. Consensus was 4.2. Forecast was 4.3. I'm seeing a bounce in some parts of the market. It looks like in pre-market. Tesla now is positive at 0.26. Let's just look at the unemployment rate. Again, this is the right way for the unemployment rate to head, right? We don't want it to go higher. Seeing it retract a little bit is perfect. It's right within guidelines, if anything, a little bit better than expected. Let's bounce around, though. Let's look at, I'm going to start at the top. We're going to look at Halifax House Price Index. So this one said 4.3% year on year in August in 2024. Biggest rise since November of 2022. Let's just go back further here and look all the way out. Following an upwardly revised 2.4% rise in July. So this one, the House Price Index, actually got revised a little bit higher. And we hit 4.2, and consensus was, or I'm sorry, we hit actual 4.3. Consensus was 4.2. Forecast was 2.8. So housing prices still going higher. Again, rate cuts will help this. It'll open up the existing home supply, and that's what we want. Here's the BBA mortgage rate. Oh, why am I getting this? Why am I getting UK? That's UK. No wonder it says Halifax. They got the same problem, though. All right, let's move on. This is what happens. Some of the stuff resets. All right, now we're on just U.S. Again, non-farm payrolls was what he was talking about. And this came in higher than forecast, but it also was lower than consensus. Consensus was 160. Forecast was 120. Sorry, I'm still drinking my chai latte. And if we look here and go out, I don't know that we'll get much of a signal because, again, the anomaly that happened in March 2020. But this doesn't look too crazy. It looks very much in line, if anything, kind of positive. We already looked at unemployment rate. It went down. We like that. Average hourly earnings. Let's look over here. So year over year in the United States to 3.8% in August from 3.6% in July. Average hourly earnings year over year in the United States averaged 3.08% from 2007 to 2024. So that's good. So 3.08%, and right now for average hourly earnings, we're sitting at 3.6, which means it's coming in a little bit better than our overall average over that time frame. And it looks like forecast was 3.6, and consensus was 3.7, and we did 3.8. So people are still getting paid, and they're getting paid all right. That's probably going to be seen as a positive. Tesla's up 1% in after hours. Participation rate came in slightly higher than expected. We want people to participate in the job market, so that's a positive as well. Let's look over here. Again, this is a nice increase from where we were at after the pandemic massive drop. We're not quite to it yet, but we're getting close. This is good. Let's look over here. Average weekly hours. Average weekly hours, 34.3. This is with consensus, but 0.1 higher than forecast. This is good. We want people to be working more hours. I mean, we don't, but for this sense, we do, right? And if we go back over max here, going all the way back to 2008, we're at levels for, we're getting close to levels for average hourly work week that are close to those levels before, the big drop in the GFC, but pretty much within line of the norm. Let's see here. Government payrolls, 24,000. Forecast was 8, so we're giving out a lot of government jobs or a lot of government pay. Manufacturing payrolls, we're supposed to be negative 3,000. They're negative 24. So let's just look at government here. So again, out of the payrolls number, a massive part of it is government. This is not what we want for an economy. We don't want the government to be footing all the bills. You can see where it's ran high over the last several years here, really since about October 2021. Actually, even since then, only a slight dip into negative territory. Otherwise, it's just been expansion in government, lots of it, way more than if you look before the timeline. You can see how we're really pushing government jobs. It's all about expansion of government, and that's not great. It's not great for our economy. Manufacturing payrolls, again, if we look over here, probably can't go out that far because of the anomalies, but we don't want to be going into negative territory on manufacturing. We want to be going higher. So this isn't a great sign either for the manufacturing sector. But again, I think that can get better. If you guys saw the video for Trump yesterday talking at the Economic Club, he indicated that he wanted to give large tax breaks to manufacturers that are coming back to the United States, along with just other incentives to try and get companies to come back here. So that will probably help a lot when it comes to the manufacturing side. And with all these immigrants that we have now, roughly, I would say 11 million, that's kind of the number I write around in the last 4 years, we should probably get them employed. And since 200,000 people have cycled through New York City from illegal immigration over the last 4 years, and only 2,000 have gotten jobs through New York City without, some of these people were transferred out. 40,000 are getting ready to get dumped on the streets here soon without anywhere to go. We should probably find them jobs. So maybe we should get some manufacturing jobs going. Non-farm payrolls, private. Here, we're looking at 118K. That was better than forecast, lower than consensus of 139. Let's see if there were any revisions lower or anything like that too. The United States added 118,000 jobs to their payrolls in August of 2024, higher than the downwardly revised 74K in July. So we revised downward for July. Of course we did, right? But below forecast of 139K, job gains in construction, healthcare, ambulatory healthcare services, social assistance. In contrast, employment declined in manufacturing. Yep, okay. Reflecting a drop of 25,000. Okay. So I'd say all in all, this is pretty good. Let's look at the U6 unemployment rate. And I got to remind myself what sets this apart from the other one. Let me just look here. I used to know this. The so-called U6 unemployment rate includes total unemployed plus all persons marginally attached to the labor force plus total employed part-time for economic reasons as a percent of the civilian labor force plus all persons marginally attached to the labor force. So maybe, I don't know if this is going to count illegal immigrants too. Maybe it does. And maybe that's why the number is so much higher already. But we're up to 7.9%. Forecast 7.8. So this is slightly worse, but again, if this is including illegal immigrants, I'll have to do some grinding. I'll do that after this. Then that kind of makes sense, right? So this doesn't look really that crazy at all. All right, so Tesla's up 1.5%. So yesterday it was up 5 at close, roughly 4.9, and today it's up 1.5, climbing to 1.6. That's a great way to start off the day. MicroStrategy's at 1.7. The VIX is up slightly, but not too big of a deal. Bitcoin has just been continuing to grind sideways to down. I think all that's good. It's currently at 56,679. Oil's getting a slight bounce at 0.6. Let me see what else we got here. RG's down 0.8. Palantir's up 0.56. Hood had a great day yesterday. It was at up 3% at close. Now it's up another 1%. Looks like Mara's up 1%. CleanSpark is at 1.4, finally getting a bounce. So we're seeing some action here. PayPal's down 0.29%, but again, that one's got tough resistance. But this is good. I think we're really getting to the point where we're starting to see some love. Let me get caught up with chat. Everybody's saying good morning. Concord's saying good morning. Alex is saying good morning. Sean, we needed a rate cut yesterday. I agree. Andy's saying he woke up early and can see this. Sidecar guy, thanks for doing the live stream. Greatly appreciated. Alex, Tesla's up 1.5. Yes, it is, sir. Eric, Hebert, I got here late. I'm listening at 1.5x to catch up. That's a good way to do it. So again, this is great. This is great economic data today, guys. I don't see anything wrong with it. I am going to listen here and just see if they have anything to add. So we're going to jump in here and just see what CNBC has to say. But I'm seeing a great start to the day.
At 20,000 or so, 24,000 jobs were from the government sector. It looks like there was positive gains in negative on manufacturing, minus 24,000. Scrolling down, I'm going to try to find the two areas that have been really private service providing 108,000, retail trade minus 11. A lot of negatives I'm coming across here.
The yields are going down a little, Steve.
Transport, yeah, this is a relatively weak number. It is an improvement, but you put those together with the revisions, which shaved off. What did I come up with? Almost 86,000 jobs.
Yeah, and it was bad to start with, wasn't it?
It was, well, no, some of them were high. Like one of them came way down. It was a 179, came down to like 118 or something like that. I want to just check leisure and hospitality, which has been a place, obviously, where we've had a lot of gains, and private education, health services, a big part of it, 47,000. Healthcare within that, up 44,000.
No hot inflation numbers anywhere, are there?
No,
average
I didn't check
hourly, I'll tell you.
What do you got, Beck?
Up 0.4% versus the up 0.3%.
That's pretty strong.
And average hourly year over year, up 3.83% versus the up 3.7% that had been expected. So maybe a little stronger.
Yeah, so there's 46,000 on leisure and hospitality.
Here, I want to pause that real quick. I want to show the revisions because one of my friends had them up. All right, so right here, here's the revisions. Let me just move my screen around here. So here's some of the things to focus on. If you look over here, it says the revised category. You can see that. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oh, 1 second. Go here. There we go. Better. All right, you can see the revised category over here. You can see what they were prior. That's kind of what we're focusing on right now. And I think my friend must have a Bloomberg terminal. He needs to give this to me all the time. Anyway, prior, so 114 for non-farm payrolls, but it was revised down to 89. If you look over here at change in private payrolls, said 97K before, but it was really 74. So again, non-farm payrolls, and really mostly it looks like it was the private payrolls, were a lot lower than expected. And it says that, private. And the manufacturing was actually revised higher from 1K to 6K. So we did get a little bit of a boost last read and revisions. So not too crazy or out of control. I think that's actually pretty decent. So all this is good stuff, in my opinion. All right, let's look over here. Afternoon from Germany, or good morning in the U.S. Hey, Stefan, what's up, dude? All right, let's see what else we got going on here. I'm just going to take a look at the scene on this. I'm actually thinking today is going to be a decent day. We'll see how people digest the news. I don't see anything really crazy happening. Let's look over to, actually, before we get into here, let's go over to the CNN Fear and Greed to see what some of these things are recalcing to. And then also the CME Fed Watch tool. So Fear and Greed still at 47 for stocks. Let's look at crypto. For crypto, 22, extreme fear. Oh, I love this zone so much, dude. Let's go down here. If you guys have anything else you want to see, if you want to look at stocks or whatever, throw it out, man. We got some time. I'm cool with doing a decently long stream in the morning. It just depends on how much you guys need me. But this is great. This is great. Extreme fear over here. is a wonderful zone to be in. It's okay to grind around here for a while. This is a great opportunity for consolidation before heading higher. And it's not like over here when we were in a bear market. This isn't the same comparison whatsoever. It's going to be something more like, really like over here. So this is like where we are roughly timeline wise. And we were getting down to like 38 levels. Now we're at 22, so we're much lower. And I would argue this is like a much safer zone to buy than it would have been. You know, it would have. It's a much safer zone to buy because of just how depressed and afraid everybody is in the markets. These are the times you buy, guys. They really are. Ashaf Hana, hey, thank you for signing up, my friend. Or Ashraf, my bad. TFB, so maybe a red morning, good buying opportunity, and then a reversal in the afternoon. Maybe, I mean, my stuff is up, right? Like Tesla's still up 0.86%. CleanSpark's up 0.58. MicroStrategy's up 1.3. We are getting a little big spike. Hood's up 0.46. So it's retraced a little bit from where it bounced right after people got the initial read. But I think it's going to be an okay morning. Maybe it does drop, though. I'd be cool with that. Daryl Farrell, what data do we get leading into Fed meeting next week? Let's take a look. That's a good idea. All right, so Monday. Let's look at Monday. We're going to check out next week, guys. And I'm looking at all of it, not just the highest ranked stuff. I like to look at everything. We got wholesale inventories. We got the New York Fed Treasury purchases, 2.25 and 4.5. That'll kind of be interesting for me because I like to know what's going on with Treasuries and bonds. We got we got bill auctions. I don't care about that so much. We'll just look at the rates for each contract. Consumer credit change. We got used car prices. So Monday, nothing too crazy unless these numbers are really out of whack. There's nothing really too exciting. So it's a light start to the week. And let me fix this. I've got Great Britain on here. Get Great Britain off. Where is it? Why do I have them on here? You know what? Clear. Over here. Save. All right, now we can just look at the U.S. Tuesday, optimism index, red book year over year, super light. So Monday and Tuesday are nothing. These are really light days. Wednesday, we get a decent amount. We got a lot of mortgage-related data. We get the inflation, core inflation rate, CPI. So Wednesday is going to be the real start to the week next week. Then Thursday, like normal, we get PPI-related information. So we're going to see how much the producers are charging. Are they charging more? Are they charging less? We want to see them charge less. And then Friday, what's Friday? Export, import, Michigan consumer sentiment. So really, the busy days are going to be Wednesday and Thursday of next week. That's when it's really going to kick off, guys. New member live from Virginia. Love the content, Jesse. Thanks, Ashraf. I appreciate it, man. Jarrett Bell. Morning, Jesse. Love the pre-market video. Please check SMCI. We can do that. Tesla back up to 1.66% in pre-market. If there's any news on that, let me know, guys. Otherwise, I am going to go ahead and pull up one of these. Oh, you know what I'm going to do too? Or actually, real quickly before we do that, I just want to look and see what's going on with some of these other indicators, and then we'll pull up your stock. I want to see just everything, like how's it reacting this morning. The dollar's down 0.23%. We're getting closer to that 200 weekly moving average. I like that. So, I mean, we might break down lower than what I had in my previous range over here. I'm probably just going to go ahead and lower it. I got to figure out exactly how far. I think it's the 95, 96 if I zoom out. I'll clean this up later. But it's a good thing that the dollar's weakening. This is good for companies like Tesla. If you have international business, you want to see this. Gold. Gold is up 0.32% today, guys. You have made a whopping 31.36% in 13 years. Oil is up 0.32%, but this still looks like a dropping thing. I think this is literally just a short-term move. Let's look at the bond volatility index. The bond volatility index starting to retrace. I said, hey, you see this upper band? It's probably going to act as resistance. We might try and roll over here. I think that's what's happening. Let's see if it does. But we want to see bond volatility index go down. And we're finally seeing the break, guys, in the 2-year. Look at this. I told you it's going down. It's going down. We're making our way to the twos. Making our way to the twos in the 2 years. You know, that leads to another question here, but we'll look at that in a second. Let's check out the inversion. The 2 10-year. Oh, we're above. We've uninverted. Now, This don't totally count unless we close the day here, but right now it looks like we might be uninverting. That's going to be an interesting move. We might have to look over. Did we check the CME Fed Watch tool? I don't think we did. We need to look at that. All right, let's see how the yen and the won are doing. I think they're probably going to look all right. Yeah, so the dollar's losing strength against the yen. That's good. That saves us from the Japanese carry trade falling apart. The won, which, a lot of it sounds like it probably did. The dollar is weakening against the won, too, so that is breaking down. So this pattern is going to end up being wrong, most likely. I'll have to update that. Put-call ratio. What's it look like? Ooh, people taking insurance. Lots of it. Lots of puts going up, guys. Lots of hedging going on right now. All right, let me just take a look over here. I'm going to see what trying to think of what I had a plan to go next. Let me read comments here real quick, and then maybe I'll remember. Oh yeah, SMCI. That's what it was. And then we'll look at Nvidia too. I like looking at that. I think that's a good idea. All right, SMCI. If you guys see anything crazy happening in markets, please throw it out in chat. SMCI down 1.6% in pre-market. I mean, this is rough. This thing. I mean, technically, this is what we're looking at. So it was a falling, broadening wedge, which can always broaden more, and that's what it did. It broke down even further. So this thing has just turned into a mess. So, yeah, it's dropped a lot. SMCI has dropped a lot. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be a good deal or not. If you guys have any fundamentals you want me to look at in this company, I will take a look here, probably right over here, super fast. Oh, let me go over here. SMCI. Yeah, so checking over here. Again, great revenue growth, 143% year over year. Cash is up nicely. What are the forecasts, though? So the forward PE is 12.45. That seems ridiculously cheap for a company that is real. Growth is still there, but it's slowing slightly heading into Q1 of 2025. EPS is looking solid. This actually looks like a really cheap stock to me. I can't really tell you why it's so cheap. Do you guys have some news on SMCI? Can you tell me what you think about it? Again, I know chip stocks have had some crazy moves, but this just seems nuts. This seems like a total, just oversell. 67% drop, guys. Now, don't get me wrong. It looks like it's trying to catch on the 100, but we get some volume all the way down here to the 357, 358 range. I'm going to mark something down for 363 because I might want to buy this if this keeps dropping the way it's dropping, because that's crazy. Why would you have a forward PE in single digits? Haven't been able to watch for a couple of weeks. Recaps. Can you summarize CLSK? Bought some more yesterday. Yeah, we can look at it. It looks great. I think it's found its bottom. I think Bitcoin is finding its bottom too. So I think there's a lot of good stuff happening right now. Yeah, SMCI looks it looks undervalued to me. That's my take, bro. And I'll get down to the rest of the comments in a second. Pulling up Nvidia. This is for Rob. Rob was asking about Nvidia. We're already getting a bounce, and I would say Nvidia is probably like the leading indicator on bounces for the chip sector. So it's liking the economic data that we already saw. It's up almost 1% in after hours, after 1% yesterday. So I'd say this thing's trying to make its way back up. I think it's a good bounce zone if you like Nvidia. Stefan, Jesse, do you ever close out your options if you see they won't do so well, or do you keep them? Sometimes. Rivian. I placed a bet on that. I did my research. I thought it was a good opportunity. I thought they were going higher. Here, I'll show you actually. I thought, hey, Rivian is starting to cross the chasm, and I'll buy it. I'll get options. This will be great. It's got wonderful asymmetric upside. But then the things happen that I didn't want to see happen. So with Nvidia, we were seeing this, right? We were seeing this trend in net income where it was right to here. So Q2 of 2023, maybe it was a little bit later. But I thought that they were trending. I thought they were trending in the right direction, and we were going to get a bounce up, and they would continue to lose less and less money. And that was not what happened. And the quarter was fucking horrific. And then they indicated they were delaying their products out a long ways. So I took a 50% loss and just cut it. But it depends. In some cases, if you have it where it's went down 95% or something, like what's the fucking point? So when I place these bets, I have to feel very confident about them. Otherwise, I don't place them. So that's kind of my thought process there. And there's rare occasions where I do sell early. Does that make sense? All right, let me get caught up. Gotta not move around. Sorry about that. All right, SMCI, there we go. Alex Garcia said, do you think the market could be pricing in 50 bips? Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look. What are we at today? Are we at 50 bips? We crossing in? I'd say yes. I'd say yes. I mean, we've moved to a 43% chance of 25 and a 57 for 50. So it seems like it's trying to price in too. I'm okay with that. I still think it's going to be one. I think he's going to want to calm the markets and let them know everything is okay. But also at the same time, if you look at the Fed funds rate versus like what our current rate of inflation is, it's much more aggressive. So maybe he does do two, just to try and get it to where we're more accommodative and we're not so restrictive. That wouldn't be a bad idea in my opinion. Rob, can you look at Nvidia? I just did. I actually think it could be bouncing right now. If the market is bouncing right now. It doesn't have to, but we don't have a lot of major economic data for the next several days, guys. So outside of some Fed speak today around noon, we'll see what they say. If they get really hawkish, which I super doubt, I think the market could run for a few days, contrary to what, a lot of the fear that was brought in early in the week. Aureus, please, Jesse, take a look at HIMS. Free cash flow per share is growing aggressively, but price has dumped, debating their moat and GLP litigation and a risk in the future. I think it's wasn't there another company too that started to get into similar business? The moat would be a question I have too, but yeah, let's take a look, man. I'd be curious about the moat because if somebody else, I thought there was a big player. I don't follow HIMS very much. You guys let me know in chat. I thought there was a big player that had basically indicated that they were going to enter the ring. And if that's true, that could really just crush the price. It is at, though, on the daily time frame, it's already at the 200 moving average after dropping 43%. So that is a nice little bounce. What does it say? SMCI accounting rumors are bad. Oh, I remember. Yeah. So that one had the accounting rumors. Okay, so there could, if those rumors turn out to be real, then this thing will probably stay where it is. If they turn out to be fake, and you have any degree of confidence that that is true, then you're going to benefit greatly from SMCI. So that's for sure. SMCI short report. Oh yeah, is that one famous short report company, the same one that got the miners? Firm is alleging accounting. Yep, okay. Appreciate it. Hey, Jesse, so glad I sold SMCI in the 800s. Yeah, that would have been the time to do it, bro. Let's see. Alex Garcia tanked because they delayed their 10Q or 10K filings after short report the day before. Oh, yeah, that was horrible news. Now it's coming back. TFB, is there any substance to the Hindenburg? I don't know. Some of these short reports, I would say short reports usually have substance, but are they right? Or are they looking at it cursory and correct on it? I didn't look at the short report. That's something you guys would have to check out if you're interested. Albert says, hey, SMCI, okay. Amazon will crush them. Amazon was going to do it. Yeah, so that's a worry, bro. That's a worry. So these guys are still a 3.13 billion market cap. You got to realize this too. Look over here. Look down at the bottom. You see this? You see this down here? This going all the way back to November of 2023, we were establishing this divergence on the MACD. Even though we had what looked like support forming on the RSI, we had what wanted to flush. This thing wanted to flush, and it was letting you know it from the MACD. And then we got the flush, and now we're down at the bottom of the RSI. So temporarily, this is probably a good bottom if you're interested in buying it. But if Amazon's going to be competing against HIMS, what do their forecasts look like for growth going forward? And I started using their products, shampoo and conditioner. I like it. My old ass, my hair seems to feel a little bit younger, and I like that. And that could be anecdotal and mean absolutely nothing, so take that into consideration. But 52% year-over-year revenue growth is a good sign. Forward PE is still 34.84. So one could argue that these guys are still overvalued and that they could work that down. But if you look at how quickly they're catching up and how much faster this number could lower, just look at current PE, which is 193, and then 34 for the forward. That's a huge gap. So again, it just all depends on how aggressive Amazon is and if they can really crush them, or if HIMS has an actual moat. And if they have an actual moat, this could be a good buy zone. If they don't, then, well, we can drop even further. We could drop towards 1250, right around here probably, before finding like some decent support. And if we look at the weekly, where does that put us? So yeah, and here we're seeing support really between like 1350. Then we start to get some volume at 1250 on here. Could it go even further? I don't know, man. Things can always drop further. It just all depends on narratives and truth and macro and technicals. But I would argue that this is a pretty decent drop. There's a pretty large shelf of volume right here. And if we can find a bottom in the next couple of days, this thing could turn around. But I would just be a little worried about it personally. All right, let me get back up here. Let's see what else. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. TLT broke over 100. Cool. We'll check out TLT. That's a must. Hey, Jesse, I saw yesterday that Coors is going to quit their Bitcoin mining. What do you think about? I think Coors is a shitty company. And that probably makes sense. So I'm going to be doing that. Like I said, I'm going to be doing that report. I'm going to try and do it today, but if I don't get to it today, I'm going to do it over the weekend. Probably Saturday. But if we look at Coors on here, let me just scroll down. Bitfarms, Cypher. Coors used to be the largest Bitcoin miner. Can you believe that? And now they used to have the largest stack of Bitcoin. They got nothing. You can see over here, you can see how they've just fallen apart over here on for what is this monthly difference, BTC being produced. Look at this. They went from 1,177 in December down to 411 now. Now, again, the halving happened, but the difference here is you're not seeing any growth. You're not seeing expansion. Why? Because they can't expand. Coors is not a good company, and I don't like it at all. And I've been saying that for a while. Once a company goes bankrupt because they've mismanaged the fucking shit, do you think they're going to fix it? That's always my take, guys. Do you think they're going to fix it? What are they going to do to fix it? Have they clearly articulated that? I mean, look at this net income for Q2 of 2024. Negative $800 million. Why are people buying this fucking stock? Look at their debt to assets. They have none. Look at their shares outstanding. Their shares are going down, but they have no money. They're not expanding. And that's why the PE ratio, or the forward PE, is 8.89, because this company is dying. This company is dying. Let me go back over to where I was with my short report thing here. Yeah, it's absolutely dying. This has it listed as undervalued. I don't agree with that. I don't think it's undervalued at all. This is not a good company. They have no assets. They haven't been mining a lot of Bitcoin. They're selling all of it because they have to. And they lost their whole stack from mismanagement and went bankrupt. So don't own shit like this. This is fucking trash. And if you own it, I'm sorry, but it is. All right. Jesse upgraded to Alpha Male memberships. Love all your content. You're a stud. Thanks, Ashraf. That's really cool, man. And for people that are doing that, you can ask for a couple of extra stocks and I'll look at it. I haven't been enforcing that too much, though. So you're also just really being kind and helping support me, which is wonderful. I will look. Yeah, love all your content, especially your takes on elections. Could you take a look at Wolf? I will. And we can actually look at Wolf this way, too. But Coors is fucking shit. Coors is fucking shit. It's garbage. And I wouldn't own it at all. I don't even have Coors in here. That's how little I give a fuck about it. That says a lot. All right, Wolf. But it's nice to get rid of one shitty miner and move on. Wolf, it looks like it wants to break high. Very positive sentiment, I would argue, around this one. It's done a good job holding the 100 moving average. I could see it want to break and jump up towards the 6.5 range, a roughly 50% increase from where we're at. All right, so let's take a quick look at Wolf here. We'll compare it to the one I love, CleanSpark, my favorite miner. Maybe not necessarily based on valuation, but just again, all around. Excellent management, right? Here's what I don't like about Wolf. I say this all the time. I don't like the fact that they hodl no Bitcoin. It doesn't help them. As the price goes up, they don't have that leverage where they can sell Bitcoin, have tons of cash, and then buy additional mining equipment. So I could see this hurting them later on. Also, even Sebastian Ski doesn't show this as undervalued, so it's not like it's a really great value play, right? And they're selling all their Bitcoin every month. So again, if Bitcoin doubles in price, do they benefit from that? No. If Bitcoin triples in price, do they benefit from that? No. Do we think Bitcoin's going to triple in price? Yes, I think it's going to more than triple. And they don't get any of that. What if it goes up 4x? Do they benefit? No, they don't fucking benefit at all. They have no way of raising capital without more share dilution. So I think these get more dangerous over the longer term of the cycle. Why would you want to own that? Sure, they popped. I don't know if these guys are AI narrative too. Again, I'm not done with all my work, but they popped and they did all right. But when you're looking here, the amount of BTC per exahash and all this stuff, it just doesn't look great. They did get a little more Bitcoin. They're expanding. Their hash rate is getting better, but their future hash rate is 10 exahash. Now let's compare this to a company like, I should probably get the new figures here. I actually probably should. Let's go to Sebastian Ski here, and we'll look at the new figures. All right, so Sebastian. Bitcoin miners updated. Let me see. I got to refresh. I don't think this is the latest and greatest. Maybe it is. I don't think it says miner spreadsheet is 8.4. Bitcoin spreadsheet 8.9. You haven't updated this since then, Sebastiansky? Maybe it's over here. Hey everyone. Yesterday. All right. I think we'll just double check. I think this is the new one. I just want to make sure we have the latest and greatest before we go into it. So again, BitDeer, no Bitcoin. Fuck them. BitDigital, some Bitcoin. But here's the problem with BitDigital. Look at their Bitcoin stack. It's dropping. This is not the time you want it to drop. You want to do share dilution. You don't want to sell your fucking Bitcoin. That sucks. And what is their hash rate? Their future hash rate is right where they are right now. So this company is dying. It will be dead after this cycle. Dead. Fucking gone. Bitfarms, look at this. Expansion in their HODL for Bitcoin. I like it, but they've only got about 1,100. Not a super big number. They did start to expand with their Bitcoin after the halving that took them down. They've still been maintaining, but they started to drop last month. They dropped by 20 Bitcoin last month. That part isn't great. But they have a lot of assets. If we look down here versus debt, that part's good. And it just all depends their efficiency level. They're getting 20 Bitcoin. That's okay. But let's look at CleanSpark. This is my baby, right? This is my baby right here. Oh, that's Cypher. I also like Cypher. They've got 2,200 Bitcoin HODL. Their expansion brings them to 13.5. I still don't know if that's a great number, but I do believe that they're undervalued. They have assets. They have very little debt. Their hash rate over here, if you look, they're down to 16.6 for BTC per exahash, which means they've got some inefficient stuff that needs to come off, but they are trying to expand. So yeah, this one's all right, but let's look at CleanSpark. Let's look at the mothership here. Look at this. Look at what CleanSpark did since August of 2023. They went from 600 Bitcoin to 7,500 in August. That is a beautiful number. That's what you want to see. They're still, again, they took a little bit of a trickle down because hash rate got harder too, but not as much as what we were looking at in, I don't know if it was BitDigital or whatever it was. They're down 16 from the previous month, but they're constantly expanding. Again, they expanded the range of their shelf offerings so that they can do that. Will it create share dilution? Sure, but I think this one is incredibly undervalued. This, even after write-downs, they've got 600 million in assets. And those assets, or I shouldn't say write-downs, the depreciation of the value of their Bitcoin. And that's only for Q3 of 2024. Yeah, we'll look at visual stocks. This is not up to date and good. Yeah, I don't love that. Or no, I'm right. It's right. I'm tired. I haven't had my chai latte. This is the right year. So again, their debts to where they're sitting, I think is really, really great. And their expansion rate is insane. 56 exahash is what we're trying to get to this cycle, which would put them right at the top. Let's look at, I want to compare that exahash rate goal to some of the others that are out there. Iron, 30. Okay, well, that's all right. But here's what I don't like about Iron. Again, no Bitcoin HODL. They don't get that 3 or 4x. They don't make it to where in the latter part of the cycle, they don't have to dilute in order to be able to keep up with hash rate. So they'll be at 55% of the hash rate of CleanSpark by the end of this, not the end of the cycle, but when they get their expansion done, which will be probably before the end of the cycle. So I don't love that. They do have a lot of assets. They have low debt. That's probably the big benefit there, but not having Bitcoin is going to hurt you. And I think people are going to realize that more over time. Mara, look at Mara. 20,818 Bitcoin. I think the only one behind them is Riot. They've got around 10,000, I think, as of the last report. But Mara had a pretty decent drop in hash rate. They're not really well managed on their Bitcoin mining, but they've been upgrading a lot of equipment, and they're up to 22.39 now for BTC per exahash. That's a great number. And if we look over here, their total current assets look quite small, but their liabilities, again, are not big in comparison to that. When you have 371 million, I think all that looks good. And this stock is going to benefit them so much, guys. 20,818 Bitcoin is going to be huge when it 3x's. So that's why right now, Mara and CleanSpark are by far my favorite plays. And let's jump over here. I want to look over here visually. I want to show some other scenes of this. And again, I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, so we'll move back again. The machine says, thank you for all your hard work, Jesse. Please hit the like button. Yeah, if you guys could do that, that'd be great. This morning show, let me know you appreciate the morning show, guys, so I keep doing it. Revenue growth year over year, 129%. That's a great number. Forward PE right now for CleanSpark is 96, but that number could change a lot. This is one of the things I love about CleanSpark is if you go back a long ways, you can see that their hash rate just has been exploding. They don't mess around. They took write-offs. They really last quarter they kind of locked in any losses and write-offs and all that other stuff. And now they've made it very clear on their expansion plans. They took a hit from it, but they're ready to rock and roll. Bitcoin production still looks pretty good for these guys. We look over here. Bitcoin production Q2 of 2024 was 1580. That's not a horrible number considering after the halving. Again, before that, 2031, to be able to do 1580 after a halving event, I mean, you should have really been down to like 1,000, right? If you didn't have expansion plans, they're expanding. So this keeps them in the game. If we look at estimate revenues going forward, again, we kind of have this trending down, but after this next quarter, they're saying, hey, we're going up. I would say those estimates are probably pretty right. So that forward PE will get a lot better in the future. And again, look at their Bitcoin holdings in USD value. Look at that. So imagine what happens. So they've got 413 million, it says, as of Q2 2024. Might be around that right now with Bitcoin production, and then what the prices drop by. It'll be close. But imagine what happens if this goes 4x, which I think we can do this cycle. It'll probably be like 3.5x this amount. So if you're looking at this and you're seeing, $1.5 million or more, $1.8 million, and that's without them mining more, $1 billion in value in Bitcoin. This is going to be beneficial to them come late at the end of the cycle, guys, especially as they're still mining month over month and adding more and more and more and more to their stack. So this is the stuff you want to see. But let's go back here. I digress. I want to go back. So what did Mara have for its hash rate goals? 52. So now, and I think Riot is below that too. So right now, CleanSpark is the number one hash rate publicly traded platform on the planet. Based upon their current estimates. Riot is only 40. Riot has 9,700. This actually, they don't have August in here. It's 10,000 now. So they're slightly ahead of CleanSpark on Bitcoin holdings. But at the rate they're adding them, I actually think that CleanSpark is going to start catching up, and they're going to surpass them probably by the early to mid part of next year. Probably mid part of next year, I think they'll have a larger Bitcoin stack than Riot, CleanSpark will. And they'll be second in line for that, and they'll have the highest revenues. Right? Let's look here. So this is an interesting fact that you guys need to see. I need to get some better visual charts that reflect this information. I wish Sebastian Ski and James or somebody would do it because I'm lazy as fuck, but I can do it if I have to. Revenue, 23.22 million for Riot. That's interesting, right? 23.22. Mara, 40.58 million in revenue, double the revenue. That's interesting, right? Let's look at CleanSpark. What does CleanSpark have for revenue? Look at Hive, 7.28. Let's look up here. Core Scientific, 25 million in revenue. But let's go up here real quick. CleanSpark, 28.66 million. So CleanSpark, it has 6, 7, 8 million more in revenue than Riot does. That blows my mind. CleanSpark has done such a great job catching up with these guys. They really, and CleanSpark, you're going to see more BTC per exahash here soon as they upgrade equipment. I'll probably do a deeper dive too in my mining video because there's a lot of stuff in here. It shows you the miner speed, and it also shows you the petahash rate of their different miners. So you get an idea of how much of the overall hash rate is made up by some of their different miners, like the S21 Pro, that's doing 100,000. Some of these newer miners, though, guys, are like, or I'm sorry, is that 100 or 10? Yeah, 100,000. Some of these newer miners do much greater numbers than that. I'm sorry. Oh, wait. No, it's 23,000. It's 234,000. So that is actually a high rate of speed. Some of these are going 300, though. You can see down here, the S21 Pro XP Hydros are 300,000. So you can get some higher rates here for hash rate. All right, let me get off all that. Let's go back up here. I'm going to try and get caught up with chat. And let's just see what we're doing with other things too, real quick, guys. While we're looking at chat, I want to just pull up here and take a look. Let's see how Tesla's doing now. Tesla's up almost 2% in pre-market. This is so phenomenal, guys. I'm going to focus on this just for a second, and I'll get back to your stuff. Again, if you guys haven't seen my video about Tesla and the 4 phases of consolidation, I would watch it. This is the longest consolidation we've had so far. The longest one before that. Is that more? 1,800 days. I guess phase 2 might be the longest at 1,800. I don't know if I'm reading the number right. Yeah, no, I take that back. All right, we'll ignore that figure for now. I'm too tired to look at it, but whatever. 2%. So Tesla, I need to drink more chai latte and shut up. I need a guest host. So here's what I'm super excited about with Tesla right now. If we just expand out here, and let's go to the weekly time frame. It'll probably, yeah, there we go. So it's this right here, guys. This is so beautiful. We've got room to be over to the overbought range. And if we look here, you can see how we're right at the 200 moving average, right at peak volumes, right at the first fib line, and getting right at a breakout zone to go higher. So, and when we do that, it would be very quick. It would probably be to like 240s, 7, something like that, 245, 247 to fill this next gap up here. So this is just a really, really beautiful zone right here, guys. And then again, you got to remember we got another gap going up to 290. I think the hype behind Tesla right now is going to get very, 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 very strong. They're just firing on all fronts. And then with rate cuts coming down, I think these guys are one of the companies that benefits the most from that narrative with everything that people have been undervaluing for a long time. So I'm very excited about Tesla. Might nibble off a contract today. Again, yesterday I sold, I think it was 1% of my portfolio, and I just had multiple people shit on me. 1% is not a big number, guys, especially after things have went up 25% in a couple of days. So put it in perspective, please, to God. I bought the whole way down when people thought I was a fucking idiot. So just give me a little bit of benefit that it's okay for me to sell 1%. It's okay. We're going to live. All right, let me see here. Rob said, can we look at Cardano? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. I don't love Cardano, though. I think it's a dead chain. But just nobody gives a shit. Fuck. What is it ADA? Yeah, ADA. This is how long it's been since I've looked up Cardano. This is just really horrible. This is really horrible, guys. This is really bad. Like, you don't want to see this, right? From its all-time high, Cardano is still at negative 90%. Can it bounce and do well? Yeah, sure. But let's compare it to Solana. Let's look at this. Look at this fucking chart and how depressed and pathetic it is. Not even above peak volumes over its entire time frame. And then let's look at something like Solana instead. This is the one you want to own. If you, right now on the dip, this is the one I would have my money in. Look at how much more powerful this chart is. This investment from the low is up almost 1,600%, dramatically better. Dramatic. Cardano, by comparison, would be like down fucking here at 13. This thing is 10x higher than that, and it looks like it's bouncing off of what is a bull flag, in my opinion. I think it's a bull flag. Could it be a descending triangle? I mean, tactically, but it would be the slowest fucking one I'd ever see. But I think this is a bull flag, and I think that this is the thing you want to own, personally. Sean, hey Jesse, would you enjoy the Tesla video by Ben Cohen? You would enjoy. Oh, okay, I can take a look at it. I know so much about Tesla though. Unless it's telling me something new. It's like he says he's a long-term Tesla bull and he's been usually right. He's been saying dips under 200 are a no-brainer. Are you talking about Benjamin Cohen? All right. Yeah. I'm super bullish. I don't even look at other people's analysis on price for Tesla because I feel pretty good about it. I've been rocking it since 2017 or something. David, I'm full on CleanSpark. Hope these AI HPC and we get full hash rate. Yeah, hope those AI HPCs. Can you elaborate on that, David? Futura, Fairmont, TGTX, weight loss drug on horizon. Sure, I can take a look. If you guys are seeing anything else that's crazy that's going on, throw it in the chat, man. Chat. TGTX. Do I have it? No. Making a copy. Trying to get walks in the morning and hanging out with my wife. And that's what I'll be doing after this. Got to stay healthy, right? If my brain is not healthy and my body is not healthy, then I'm not going to be much service to you guys, which is probably why I woke up today. Or woke up late. All right. So, again, this thing, it looks like it's trying to establish support above the 200 weekly moving average, which it has not done in good fashion, really, since it plummeted underneath of it in December of 2021. It looks like, just at a glance down here, revenues are increasing, and it looks like they had positive net income. This could be a bouncer. Let's take a look here. TGTX. And you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll try and get caught up with chat after this one. Yeah. Forward PE is 37. It's a little rich, but if this company actually starts making some money, which it looks like it's trying to do, that could be good. Let's see what the estimates are. Estimates are up, but then starting to flatten out in Q1 of 2025. So technically it looks a little overvalued right now, or could be seen as that, but look at all the insider buying. A lot of insider buying, really, going all the way back to 2018. So there's some people there that believe in the company. And again, we like that their cash flow is going positive. We like that the net income is going positive. This might be a good one to just kind of, I'm going to put this on my watch list along with MP, DLTR, Upwork. This might be interesting just to take a look at. And I got a couple, and WHR, Whirlpool. I'll look at that too. Andy Zhao was just watching the Most Kevin live stream. Foreign-born U.S. employed persons went up 1.5 million year over year. Native-born U.S. employed persons went down 700K. Yep, exactly. So we talked about this in one of my political posts, but essentially all of the jobs that are getting filled right now are foreign-born. So, like Andy's saying here, he said U.S. employed persons went up by 1.5 million year over year. So for foreign-born U.S. employed. Native-born employed persons went down 700K. So, and that's kind of funny. So yes, I mean, it's not funny, but it leads to why I want people to vote for Trump, because if we're still adding 250,000 legal immigrants a month like we are right now, or more potentially, because the border's totally open and we're offering them free houses now, essentially, right? Like, or houses that are very, very, very affordable and better deals than like fucking anybody. And anyway, and a whole lot more. Social Security. We're offering them everything, right? Everything that they haven't paid into the system for. And they're the ones getting employed while the lower cohort is losing their jobs. This is bullshit. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. TFB, James' recent minor ranking. Coors was last and Wolf was second. Yeah, so I haven't even looked at James' stuff in a while. Not that I don't love it. I mean, I love James. He's great, and I pay for his service. I just haven't looked at his Patreon. But some of these things are fucking common sense. So just at a glance, I can tell you these things are shit, and I can tell you why they're shit. So I'm glad that he is in agreement with that. Chris, Federal, future as in GLP-1 inhibitor or new less side effect one ? Andrew, can you look at CrowdStrike? I can. So yeah, this one looks like it's heading in the right direction. So it's interesting. We should, if you guys do more research on it or whatever, bring it back to the group. because we like learning from each other, right, guys? All right, hype up the chat if you guys would. Hit the like button if you haven't done that, all that stuff. CrowdStrike, again, this company is just growing wonderfully. And the fact that they actually make money is something I love. The thing I don't like is the forward PE is 71, but it's growing out of that really quickly because if you look at the PE, it's 374. So this thing it's finding its valuation fast, but over the short term, I would argue it could drop more if things got really bad. I love the guidance for EPS though over the next 3 quarters looks sick, and the revenue just keeps going. So I would say this is a pretty good company now. How much has it dropped? Has it dropped a decent amount? If it's dropped, then this could be what is it? CRWD? Yeah, okay. I need to have more coffee in the morning, guys. I'm just waking up. Just waking up. I didn't even go to bed that late. It's like you know how you get tired when you oversleep? I'm at that level. I actually think this looks bouncy, guys. One could argue that maybe it wants to go to the .5 at 246, or maybe it goes down to 234. Let me see. We're above all moving averages because we've had such a wicked uptick in this company. If you got this company at the lows, congratulations. If you got this at the lows of January 2023 for $95, you're still doing all right. No, man, I think we perfectly bounced off the .618, the golden retracement zone, the zone you're most likely to bounce off of or retract from, depending upon which way you're looking at it. That's beautiful. We just need to get above peak volumes, like right around the 270 range, and turn that into support. But to me, again, valuation-wise over the short term, it looks a little rich, but it's going to grow out of it really fast. So if you're patient, I think CrowdStrike is a really great company. It's just they're a grower, man. They're going to be a steady Eddie. You're just going to make money off of this, slowly over and over again. TFB, you're being tricked into doing your miner video right now. I kind of did, right? Some of it. It's going to be more thorough than that, though. And what I think I'm going to do, and if you guys have a good online tool for pumping in data outside of Excel, I'd rather use something web-based. For pumping in data and getting great visual effects. I'm going to see if I can do it with visual stocks. If I can't, I'm going to look for something else. I would like to provide like a really quick visual comparison and then talk to more specific things that are happening in regard to news-related events over the last several months and quarter. So it's going to be a little more than just that. Hopefully I can provide a lot more value. Medin, hey Jesse, what do you think 3LMI 3X MicroStrategy in London Exchange is long-time investment? Long time, I would say no, but for a dip buyer, so these things, these 2-3X leverage plays, like even whether it's in the bond market with TMF or whether or not it's something like this, you've got to remember, guys, they have theta decay or decay of value over time, so you won't get 3X. As a long-term play. But you could use that. Right now would probably be a great time to own it. And then if we get just a wicked run in MicroStrategy, like let me show you real quick kind of what I'd think of as a target. If MicroStrategy over a very quick period of time went to 194, or 191, maybe you lighten the load just a little bit. But honestly, I wouldn't even do it. I think you could, if it did it, I think we're going to get a massive explosion in Bitcoin, especially if Trump becomes president. So I think the 280 to the 370 range, if that happened over a short period of time, I would get the fuck out of that 3X play and then just turn it into MicroStrategy. Also, I think I was going to pull up TLT and I didn't do it, so let me get over there. Then I'll try and get caught up with chat. You guys are moving so quick. All right. So, TLT. I need to figure out a way to get it to where the stocks, like the stock requests, really stand out. That would speed me up a lot. I spend a lot of time scanning. So TLT up 0.57%. It looks like a pre-market, though it's really flat. So again, I think there's going to be opportunity for us to buy into the 20-year bond. Not in a rush to do it, but I would use it as cash. I think it's a great opportunity because I don't think it, even if it lost value, it'd probably be like a couple of percent. So who fucking cares? All right, I bought Cypher along with CleanSpark. I think those will end up turning out to be good. TFB, that's what Tom said. TFB, can you show Riot data? Yeah, I'll do that more. I'll do that more in the mining video. So check it out. It'll be happening probably by Saturday or Sunday at the latest. The Machine, thanks for all your hard work, Jesse. Please hit the like button, guys. Ashraf, what do you think about potential for Wolf acquisition by one of the Mag 7? I don't think the Mag 7 give a shit about buying Wolf. If anybody's going to buy one of these companies, it's going to be CleanSpark or Mara. the people performing acquisitions are going to be those two, in my opinion. I doubt anybody else is getting involved. We do have to realize that Square is going to try and get into the mining business too. So morning show is great. Thanks, Alexander. Chris, love the morning show. I can't make most. Oh, okay. But hey, I'm glad to have you here. Morning show, thumbs up. All right, so you guys like it. That's good. Thanks for educating us. Les says. Let me see. Alexander. No, wait. There's a few I missed. When you show the pie chart of your book, etc., are you measuring cash of the securities or nominal value? I'm guessing the former for options is severely undercount the exposure, right? No, yeah, totally. You're right. So when I'm talking about, I'm not differentiating these. Maybe I'll do that more in the future. I have not found a good way, guys. I have not found a good way to be able to pull in and aggregate all the data that I have. My main exchange, Ally, just does not provide access. They suck. Try Hypercharts. I'll do that if it doesn't work for visual stocks. Thanks, Andrew. But yeah, so I'm not showing the potential for these options plays to go a lot higher. And my options are Tesla, all of Tesla options, PayPal, all options, ArcG, all options, CleanSpark, all options. So the largest parts of my pie right now are options. And so their potential move and volatility will be much greater than the underlying stock. So you're right, my exposure, if you look at it from an options versus stock perspective, is very, very high, especially for Tesla, right? So when I'm selling Tesla and everybody's like, what the fuck, you're crazy. It's like, I sold 1%, get the fuck over it. I've got massive amounts of exposure on this investment right now. With the potential of 3, 4, 5x returns, maybe higher depending upon how high it goes versus the underlying. So you're right. That's a very, very good point, Alexander. A lot of the things that I have options in right now, including all this first part, the amount of exposure I actually have because of my options plays is huge. So these are very high confidence plays for me, guys. So remember that. That's a very good point. And somebody asked if I could put my daily, when I show you guys how much I've made, if I could put that in a percentage. I can't do that, guys. This is the interface for Ally. I'm not going to put a bunch of manual work into trying to show you guys a percentage for some of the people who don't like to see that I've made more money than them. And I get it. Just seeing a percentage is helpful. I get all that. I really do. It's just not my interface. It's not my interface, and I'm not going to do anything with it because I already don't have enough time in my life, I feel like, as a retired person. Main stage news. You ever thought about setting up a Discord server for the community? I've thought about it, but I don't know how much value it would provide. I work with devs that do stuff for James at Invest Answers. Could connect you with the guys that set up and manage his Discord. Maybe, dude. Maybe. Yeah, I might. I'll think about it. And I really appreciate that, man. Thank you for throwing out that offer, dude. Alexander, i.e., if you hold 100 contracts on Tesla worth 50K, that's much more volatile than the 50K of Tesla. Exactly. Yeah, you got it, dude. You understand. Matt Nintendo, could you have a look at PAGs? Yes, I can. We'll do that real quick. And then I'll try and get caught up. I think I'm getting caught up with chat. And then I'm going to look at prices, too, and just see how other things are doing. If you guys see anything going crazy or taking off, any stock that I should put right underneath here, let me know. I can always do that. I might actually do that real quick. Here, one sec. I want to get probably, yeah, no, I'm going to do Tesla. Let me do Tesla. I don't know why I'm trying to type that out. I want to keep an eye on Tesla, so I'm going to drop it over into the corner, guys, just so I have it. I like the idea of kind of having my favorite thing or whatever I'm really watching, like if there's earnings or whatever, having that available and showing down in the corner. It's not that hard to do it, and it's a nice thing to do. So let me just do this. I'm just going to size this up more accordingly so that we can see if we're going up. So let me do this, and I'll do the daily. So it looks like we're down, Tesla down 0.4%. So it looks like we are getting a little bit rejected at the first fib. I don't think that's bad at all. But let's watch that. Let's watch that, see if we start moving in different directions. It looks like it's kind of flat right now, so that's good. It started off hot, now it's flat. I think that's okay. Let's look at PAGs over here while we got that grinding. And I think PAGs was on one of the ones on my list too. Oof, it looks like it's trying to find support. So we are below the first fib. We are right at peak volumes on the trade history for this entire company. And this is the Central American. Yeah, this is the Central American one. So wow, the upside now that this thing's dropped so much is looking better. Let's actually look at this one in visual stocks, because this is another one. I think I might need to re-add this back to my list. I kind of wiped it out because I wasn't interested in acquiring any other positions in other companies. That might change, though. Look at the revenue for Q2 for PAGs. Stupid. Forward PE is 7. So a lot of discounting of this being in international markets, I think. A lot of discounting. But that operating leverage, guys, what the fuck? This looks really interesting, bro. Really interesting. Yeah, let me bring that up for longer. Sorry, look at that. Look at that. Operating expenses nowhere. Revenue through the fucking roof. Do we know why they made so much? I've not looked at any quarterly earnings reports for these guys. And it looks like revenue's supposed to maintain at this new base. That's interesting, guys. That's interesting. 120% revenue growth year over year, 42% profit growth year over year, and this thing is grinding where it is. This just went to the top of my fucking list. One sec, I got to pull up my notepad. This is very interesting. Do you guys have more information on PAGs? If you have thoughts on it, throw it out. I'm just going to actually literally put this at the top of my list. Yeah, that's fascinating, dude. Let me know if you guys have more. Otherwise, I think this thing could start to rock. Again, it would be very easy for this thing to move back to 12, or even back up here to 1452. That's kind of, I would say, 1452 is really arguably close to mean reversion because you can see previous resistance over here. But the .618, the golden retracement zone, that's probably our ultimate target. That's where the volume, at least over here, that's where we start to hit something of substance, and really we kind of have went all the way back at a round trip. And then an overshoot would be closer to the 200. But this thing could fly. This thing could fly. This was super overvalued over here when it kind of had, I would argue, one could say a double top. I would argue almost a triple top over a long time frame, but definitely a double top. And then it just suffered greatly. But this is a fascinating stock, dude. Wow, that is fucking cool. Thank you for bringing this up. This is at the top of my watch list. All right, sorry. Let me get back to Andy. I hate the chat here. Sometimes jumps the fuck around. It drives me nuts, guys. If I try to scroll, it just pops to try and update me to the bottom of the feed. All right, so there we go. I think I'm back. Jesse, I recall you dipped in with VIX options. I did it as a hedge. I made money off of it, and I got the fuck out. VIX is tough, though, guys. VIX is tough. Let's see what else you say, though. Would you reconsider that as a hedge since the crazy drop we had in the VIX since the Japan debacle? Well, I mean, the VIX actually exploded because of the Japan debacle. It's dropped a lot since. It had a VIX crush. But I wouldn't, because what happens is you have oscillation that occurs. This was the strongest increase and drop VIX crush in the history of the VIX, the volatility index for stock. This was the most rapid move up and down in the history of this. So would I use it? No, I would actually be afraid of it, because look, today you're getting oscillation because you had this massive impulse and the wave wants to come down a little bit before it chills out. So I would not look at it as one right now. Does that make sense? Do you guys get that? Hopefully you get that. Hopefully I explained that well. Let me see. Can you please take a look at Optimism coin? Yeah, I own some of that shit coin. I should show you guys. All of you might not know what I own. Let me go over here real quick. I'll sign in on this other screen here, and then I'll start to pull up Optimism over here. I think it's just OP, right? OP? You down with OPT? No. What is Optimism? Optimism. Oh, you know what? Maybe I don't have it as a ticker. That's weird. All right, make a copy. OP. I'm going to say OP. No. Yeah. Yeah, right? Optimism, perpetual contract. What is the best one here? Is it Binance? Should I do a Coinbase? I mean, I think it's on Coinbase, right? Let me do crypto only. 1 second. I'm going to do Coinbase. I think that's going to be the easier. Oh, this thing got fucking crushed. Oh, I bought this at the wrong time. I bought it like over here. Just fucked. Oh, I got to do the security thing. One sec, guys. Oh, no, it didn't work. I did it on the wrong thing. All right, so we won't look at my balance right now. We'll do it later. Let me go back to OP. So this thing has been devastated. So the play here is Ethereum. It's a layer 2 on Ethereum. The costs for these have dropped, but Ethereum has been struggling, guys, especially compared to Solana. I do think these will bounce. I think the narrative will change. I think Ethereum will do okay. I think Ethereum could do a 3 to 5x this cycle, max. But I think Optimism and others, Arbitrum, could go up with it. But they also do a lot of dilution, which is why you have this massive crush. This thing was at almost $5. Now it's at $130. It has been devastated. So not a great looking chart, in my opinion. I'll probably do more with this stuff later. I'll probably have like a crypto segment or something where I kind of go over that stuff in greater detail. Andy, Ripple co-founder Chris Larson endorsed Kamala Harris for president. Yeah, that's why it's called the banker's coin. Ripple is shit. If you guys own Ripple, you're fucking retarded. And I owned it in the past, so I was retarded in the past. But you shouldn't own it now. Fuck that. Kamala Harris is a fucking idiot. She is literally a spokesperson for whatever regime is currently running this country, because Biden is out. He is so fucking out. And who else is running it? It's the interns, guys. The interns run this fucking country. How scary is that? All right. Less TGTX, to my knowledge, has nothing to do with weight drug. Ashraf, Jesse, what is your favorite Tesla call going into this period? It's the one I own, but I haven't looked at the others. So definitely what I would encourage you to do is watch my Options 101 video that shows you how to be able to determine, what option contracts have a lot of open interest, and then also volume, and then also you can compare them to each other by looking at the option profit calculator that I use, this one over here, and you can figure out, oh, hey, this one's got a 4x potential return. Jesse thinks the target's going to be over here. If it's down here, oh, I lose it all. If it's up here, oh, I get 241% versus the 94 that it went up. And you want to use that. And I go through my entire methodology. I've had people that are versed in options and have been doing them for years. I had one dude that's been doing them for almost a decade, and he said it was the best option video he'd ever seen. So I would encourage you to look at that. I think that's probably what's going to benefit you the most. And then you want to compare that for what I believe my targets to be. I think it's a really easy target to get to almost 390 in the next, right now I'm doing July of 2026, I think it is, at a 330 strike. Double check for sure. I show my portfolio in the afternoon. But and Tesla's down 2.2% right now. So again, it's retracing. This is okay. This is normal. But you could compare that to the December 2026 calls and see if buying more time is a good idea. I didn't go too far out into 2026 because I actually think that 2026 could mark a down market, but I wanted to give enough time for Tesla to really be able to outperform, because I think Tesla will be the shining star in a down market, and I'm probably looking at selling out of these calls anyway over the next year, depending upon how quickly they launch and how well they do. Q3 and Q4 are also really good. But yeah, so I think my strike is 330, and I think that that's going to be pretty accomplishable, and that we'll have a large run. And again, I think we'll get to 400 maybe in 6 months or a year. If I do really, really good on these and make millions of dollars, I'm going to exit them for the most part. But you look it up on your own and tell me what you think. We can maybe do another video too where we just look at option contracts for different investments. That might be a thing if you guys want it. Futura gave wrong symbol. Mint VKTX. Oh, you son of a bitch. All right, 1 second. All right, let me go back over here. Make a copy. VKTX. All right. Not crypto. All right. Ah, wow, this thing rocketed. Jesus. That's scary. That's super scary. All right, so this is what time frame? May of 2022. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw a fib retracement. I never do these. I'm going to assume we've topped. Not that it can't go up over the short term. It could. I mean, the .618 is really right here at 40. So this thing's dropped a lot. It dropped from 105 down to 45. So it's done a 55% drop plus. That's a lot. Let's look at the financials on this one. I want to save it real quick. And then I want to look at the financials and see what it looks like. All right. Well, I'm rolling through this here. Darren, TSLL versus calls. I mean, that one, what is that, a 1.5x or something? I don't know. It depends on the call. The calls can do better, but it's kind of a dumb man's version of a call, or like calls for idiots, if we were talking about books. So it's just a way where you're going to get a little bit of theta decay, but at the same time, you don't have to fuck around with contracts or understand anything about it, and then you can just sell. So it's okay. It's probably a decent opportunity for upside if you think that we're at the bottom. But again, they're time based, so you're not gonna get quite what they promise. Like if they promise 1.5 or 2, you're probably gonna get a little bit less than that, unless it skyrockets over a couple of days and then you sell it, because there's a rebalancing that happens every night with those. Kind of a flushing of the call positions, if you would say. Where it locks in some of that theta decay every day. So hopefully that makes sense. Viking Therapeutics, this looks like a shit company, at least from net income and revenue. So this is probably, this is just a loss, guys. They've got cash, but it's from share dilution. They're very negative in cash flow. They lost $22 million in a quarter where they made zero revenue. The best thing about them right now is the roughly $1 billion they have in bonds. That's probably giving them 4% or something close. And they're guiding towards no revenue and a lot more loss. So this is a great way to lose money. This stock. The only reason you would ever buy this is if you had insider information. Oh yeah, PAGS is Brazilian. That's probably why it's discounted too. Yes. Okay, I'll make sure to make that in my note. Let me add that real quick here. So it's discounted. So if we think the Brazilian government is going to collapse, like after a Trump win, PAGS is going to be a sick opportunity, because then PAGS loses that discount from an authoritarian regime taking control of the country, just like China. China's at a discount for the same reason, right? So yeah, I would, if anything, I would look at shorting this stock. I would not buy it here. I would assume it goes down to at least 40. I would assume that it honestly goes down to 24. I don't know if there's a lot of people shorting this, but I would have shorted it up here. I do not think positively about this company because they have no revenue. And they're losing tons of money. So they've got cash. They can keep just burning it away. They can just burn it, incinerate it every month, and then just dilute you away, right? Like, let's just add more shares, guys. We had 78 million. And now we have 110 million. So these guys are going to fuck you. They're going to fuck you real good. So I personally don't like it. That's my take. Let me see here. All right. So John Boyle says afternoon. John Mahoney says what's up. 94 Clips says Jesse gives the most value streaming salute. I like to think I do, especially interactively, where I look up things and then look at financials and technicals. I don't know anybody that does that. If you guys know anybody that does that, let me know. Alex Garcia, I see some bullish divergences in the big cap miners. BTC is cooking. Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that. We can actually pull that up here. And let me see what else we got. I see PAGS is Brazilian. Okay, and then thumbs up from Darren. All right, so I'm caught up with chat. Sweet. So Solana bouncing. Again, Solana will be the one to bounce, guys. Why would you own XRP? Why would you own some of these others? Dogecoin down 2.55%. I own that one too. I've got some of these shit meme coins, but boy, has it been brutalized. It looks like it wants to roll over. I don't think it will. But yeah, 0.22 down to 0.96. I bought my shit coins way too early. A lot of people probably did. Not a good deal. Not a good deal at all. Let's look here, though. Let's look at the stock heat map index, and then we might call it after this. If you guys know of anything else that's going on that we need to talk about, let me know. Thomas says, hey, Jesse, can you share your asset allocations? Are you 100%? I do, actually. If you look at X, you can see all of that. It's right here. It's right here. These are my asset allocations. I also put all my stocks, all the charts that I make, or some of them might not be in here, but I've got a ton of them. You can see the latest version of those by clicking on that link because I share all this stuff out. So you have that right in front of you. Are you 100% in stocks, crypto, or do you have This is a topic. REITs. I don't know what you say. RE. I don't know what you mean. This is a topic that keeps me crazy. I never find the right risk exposure. So curious. So right now, I think risk towards Bitcoin is great. I'm actually shaving off allocations. Yesterday I was shaving off allocations from Tesla, and I was looking at buying, or I was buying CleanSpark, and I was buying Hood calls. So I was actually dipping in and getting exposure to crypto, because I think that's the thing to do right now, especially Bitcoin related investments, especially things that are multipliers. So yeah, these things grew organically. PayPal and Tesla, they've went up the most for me, and I'll actually show you this in a second too. They've went up the most for me, these two, and that's why they're so large as this pie right now, while Bitcoin-related investments have been dropping. So I've been rebalancing out of this. I haven't done PayPal yet, but I've rebalanced out of Tesla, and I'm starting to dial more into my Bitcoins because I think that's the right play. And I do have $5,000 in cash. I should spend some of that this morning, it looks like. Don't like to have too much cash. Today I'm up 8,400. How is that possible? Oh, it's the stuff that I did yesterday. So look here. So I'm up 8,400, it says today. And this might... No, I think it's recalculated. So those CleanSpark calls I was buying yesterday while selling Tesla. People are like, why would you sell Tesla so early? What are you doing, dude? Oh my God, how can you sell it? It's like, motherfucker, do you know how much money I put into this thing in the last several months? Do you know how much money over the last half a year? Do you know how much money I put in this? This is only my main account. I've got $850,000 fucking dollars in Tesla calls, not stock. And I bought CleanSpark with it, and it looks like it's been nice to me today because I'm up where some of you might be down. I bought Hood yesterday. My Hood is up today, guys. Who knew? So again, there's you rebalance for a reason. Not to be sarcastic, but fuck it. I mean, don't be stupid, guys. Don't give me shit when I reallocate 1% of my portfolio. Thomas Masson, many thanks, Jesse. RT was real estate. Oh, yeah. I don't have any real estate exposure. Should there be some? Maybe. Here's my worry. My worry is real estate exposure for new homes. I don't know how everything's going to play out. Existing homes have been frozen forever. One could argue there's been a shit ton of apartments made, and so that might get more people like just thinking, why buy a house right now? Why not let prices drop? Since rates are coming down, why not let prices drop in the house, in the rates, before I start buying a home? Why don't I just rent from all these apartment complexes that are fighting each other and that are actually cheaper than buying right now as far as monthly payments? So I worry about real estate over the short term for new home building, and I worry about it for investments for these big like State Street and BlackRocks that have bought up all this real estate. I think the values are going to go down as the existing home supply expands and people stay in rentals while they wait to watch rates go lower and prices go lower, and then go, oh shit, I think now's the time I'm going to buy. And then you start to see a wave of people going in. So I think that's what's happening with real estate next. So I'm not really that interested in jumping into real estate right away, but in the future, Thomas, I definitely would be. Tazos, SoFi looks like it's forming RNH and S on a daily. Head and shoulder. All right, let me see. Let me look at SoFi. Let's just pull it up here real quick. I think SoFi is doing what I've said here for a while. It's up 1.24% today. I think it's trying to establish support over peak volumes. It looks like it's real close to getting above that and real close to establishing its first week of support under a resistance line that goes back to November of 2021, almost 3 years ago, 1,310 days roughly ago. So SoFi to me is just awesome, dude. I think it looks really great. Main stage news, what's your perspective on the yield curve flipping back over to positive? I don't think it matters, but I don't think it'll close the day uninverted. But I don't think it matters, honestly. The real thing that matters right now, guys, is the election. And normally I wouldn't say that, because if you look historically at elections and performance in markets, it doesn't matter. It just goes up. And again, over the short term, you could say that it doesn't matter as much, but I've said this for a while, and I strongly believe it's true. This election is going to be very important for the future of America in regard to free speech, in regard to capitalism, in regard to taxes, in regard to international businesses wanting to flee overseas. There's a ton of things that I think are really impactful. So if Kamala Harris gets elected or just steals the election, because I think that's a very real possibility, like Eric Weinstein and many others have been talking about. If the Democrats won't let Trump win, then I think we'll see a massive flush out in the stock market. A massive flush out. And I think some of that could happen with Bitcoin too over a short period of time. And then I think there's going to be, at the very least, I don't think they can do unrealized capital gains. Even Mark Cuban said, he's a hardcore liberal. He talks for Kamala Harris all the time because she's incapable of it. And he said that he told them that if they do unrealized capital gains taxes, it would destroy the stock market. His words, exact quote, or kill the stock market. Whatever, kind of the same meaning, right? So over the short term, we could just get a devastating flush. Have I thought about how I would hedge with that? If the best version of it, I've been trying to think about it. I don't know. If you guys know what you think the best hedge would be if Kamala Harris takes office, let me know. But I think if the inverse of that, if Trump takes office, I think the markets explode higher. So do I care about the yield curve right now? Fuck no. I don't even care about rate cuts, honestly, guys. I don't even care about economic data and how it's reporting right now. I care about who gets in office, because if Trump does it and he's lowering energy by more than 50% over his first year, you're going to see the economy take off just with that one thing alone. And locking in his existing tax rates, adding on to the other stuff, child tax credits, all the things that are pro-growth, deregulation. He talked about going from his last administration, they removed 5.5 regulations for every one that they created. He said they would do 2 to 1. They did 5.5 to 1. This next presidency, he said he's going for 10 to 1 with the help of Elon Musk and Vivek and others. So that's what I care about. I care about the election because I think the results of that decide the fate of the economy over the next over years. And I think there would be an immediate knee-jerk reaction that would destroy the price of stocks. And I don't know if it would recover. I would want to say that we would want to bounce from all the money printing that we're doing. Specific sectors will. Maybe that's the play, figuring out what sectors bounce if Kamala is in office and what kind of multipliers we can get behind them. But I think I don't think the economy ever. I think we go into a depression. I know it sounds like hyperbole, but I think we go into a depression, and I think it could make the Great Depression look like a cakewalk because we didn't have the debt to GDP levels that we have right now. We weren't as interconnected with the rest of the world as we are right now. We will be devastated. If she implements some of the things she's talking about, we'll be devastated. If she doesn't, then we can flounder through it and we can have a bounce and we can still do well. If she doesn't get control of the House and the Senate, but if she gets control of the House and the Senate, I think America's over. So my big thing will be trying to figure out how to flee the country and with timing and how to get my capital out. So these are my big worries. It's not the yield curve inversion at all. It's really who wins in the next 7 to 8 weeks. I think that's going to be so crucial. All right, guys, I think we're doing all right here. Nothing crazy going on. Let me see. Dustin, I would be doing a lot better if I trimmed my large position this year. Lesson learned. Yeah, and I got shit from people when I sold Tesla too. So let's go back here. People always give me shit for selling Tesla. They never give me props, and they give me shit when I buy it too. When I bought Tesla, I can tell you this, guys. I don't know how many Tesla bulls told me I was a fucking idiot down here when I bought Tesla calls. I made $250,000. That's one of the reasons I got to 7x in 2023, right? Right at the beginning of the year, I did really good with Tesla and Meta. People told me I was a fucking idiot and crazy for buying it down here. That's just the dumbest shit in the world. The RSI on the weekly time frame is oversold. This is not a dumb time to buy. We have bullish divergence on the MACD that went back to February of 2022, and at the time we were in January of 2023. It's almost a year of bullish divergence going to the upside, and we're oversold on the weekly time frame on the RSI. And I'm having people telling me I'm a fucking idiot for buying here. And then when I'm selling over here, I had people like, why are you selling already? Oh my God, why are you doing that? And then I bought more as it dropped. And then I bought pretty heavily down here, guys. And then I sold some up around here, around the 200 moving average. And people told me I was an idiot, or right around here when we were hitting resistance. I trimmed some off 10 to 20%. And then we dropped back down and I bought hard again. And now I got people giving me shit for trimming here. It's like I can never win. I'm doing the right stuff, guys. I'm trimming and taking some gains and locking in some profits, which is what you should do. But I still have people that give me shit all the time. I'm almost completely locked in with the contributions I had on my Tesla position. And right now, even with this being down 33, so we're down 27 now because Tesla's taken a hit, and it's such a huge amount of my portfolio. But even with that, I am up in this one portfolio $344,000, and I've locked in probably heading closer to $400,000. So keep it in perspective. Anyway. So I think that's it for now, guys. I think we had a good morning open. And unless you guys have something else you have questions about or we need to talk about, all the economic data has came. All right, so main stage news. Same, Dustin. I had 100,000 in profits between MicroStrategy and CLSK in March. Got greedy. Now I'm nowhere near that based on the next. I still happy with my Tesla position as it's long term, but hold a lesson learned. So the MicroStrategy and CleanSpark are still going to skyrocket. So I think you'll make up for that. But yeah, it does suck when you buy shit high. Because you get excited. I admittedly, at the end of last year, was getting excited too. I thought the run was happening with ferocity. It makes sense, though, that the big players are going to try and suppress the price as long as they can in order to make money. Check HIMS. I already did. So jump back in the video. I checked it. I said with HIMS, the big thing I think is that Amazon is going in competition with HIMS. And then HIMS, if we look over here, it's dropped a decent amount. It could be finding a bottom. But if we jump over here and we think about Amazon trying to intrude on their business, that could put a negative narrative on them for a while. But the thing I do like about HIMS is I like their shampoo and conditioner. It's the only thing I use. But I like the fact that their forward PE is only 34 when their existing is 189. This just means that they're growing really fast. And they have estimates that continue to show growth in EPS and revenue. It all looks really good. This doesn't look like a horrible company. It looks like it's doing well. But if growth starts to slow, they're going to hurt. So that was my take on this. I like the positive net income now. And again, they could actually right now might be a good bounce point for HIMS. I'll just say that. All right. Did I scroll down and do that wrong? Somebody did ask for HIMS, right? Or am I tripping? I think I'm tripping. This fucking chat moved on me. I jumped too early on Celsius. Yeah, a lot of people did, dude. That got royally fucked, too. All right, guys. Diego, Akash, everybody that's still here, main stage, all you guys that are here at the end, thank you very much for sticking around. If you guys could throw comments at the end, that helps, too. I'm probably going to call it right now. I think we're dropping a little bit today, so I'm going to play my Buy the Fucking Dip song, because I think that's what you want to do on a day like today. I think you want to buy the fucking dip. So I will see you guys at the 3 o'clock session. If nothing else, check out the market recap. Probably going to skip some of the, I'll do some stocks, but I'm going to keep it light at the end. It's Friday. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Love you very much. Peace out. See you guys.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.
Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top and spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip. People love the pump. Yeah. Got them lining up. Wow. See us winning, FOMO in and YOLO by the top. Dream of Lamborghini. Girlfriend in bikini. Front covered Forbes magazine is where you'll see me. Oh, what? How? Price went down. Who will save us now? Felt like a hero. Now the fear is here and it's clear as steering to zero. Yeah. Hands weak, bags heavy, and I'm ready to forget about already all the hopes and the dreams. So puke your position like mom spaghetti. I'm hungry and got long cash on the ready to just buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top and spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip. When there's people crying, that's when I'll be buying. Yeah. When they tell you their investment conviction is dying. Oh no. But the market's dead. Yeah. That's what TV man said. It's time to sell it, walk away and sit in cash instead. Pump, what? Price go up. Guess that's just your luck. Sold at the bottom a lot of you gotta learn how to hold on to whatever money you're gonna earn and not get shaken out when they run the stops. Although it tends to pretend through the dips and the bends, you know the trend is your friend all the way to the end. So I buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top and spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top and spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking